And then that's all for announcements, and so I'd like to introduce Eric Pierre to come up and share his story of faith.
All right, can y'all hear me? Yep. All right. Yeah, my mom tells me all the time. Anyhow, I guess I'm just here to share my life story briefly, but I'm the son of 2 Haitian immigrants, and I was born up north. I grew up in a great home. In fact, people tell me that my family, we were like the Huxtables. We were the well-to-do black family in a predominantly white neighborhood in Katy, Texas. So, but growing up, we weren't Christians at my home. You know, we were good people going to Catholic church, and but that changed one day when somebody kept inviting us to go to this little church out in Katy. So I was bored during the summer, and I went to Vacation Bible School, and there was this guy that we called Mr. Bill, who was the youth pastor, and he gave the gospel of Jesus Christ. I heard it for the first time, so I, checked the box, prayed the prayer, and I was on fire for God. Bill said I was bouncing off the walls. I would tell everybody about Jesus, and I was heavily involved in high school, and also in college. It continued. In fact, while I was in college, in grad school, I helped start a chapter of my fraternity. We did the step show with the screen mask, and it was great. But after college, things changed in ways never imagined. I got into a little dispute with my home church, and I did leave for the right reasons. But what I did after wasn't right. I did go to another church, but I basically was playing church. I was serving in the inner city every other Friday, reading to kids and shepherding a little kid. But a lot of times on Friday, Saturday night, I go to nightclubs, living a double life. And then a couple years later, around June '07, God gave me a great job to go to Chicago, working for a Fortune 100 company. And so I moved thinking, oh, this is it. I made it. I'm in the Windy City, getting a great salary. I was traveling all over the world, staying at 5-star hotels, flying first class. But, I used it in ways that I shouldn't have been. So I was partying like in Paris and Rome with my colleagues instead of living for God. And even got to the point that, I didn't refuse women that came up to me. But, God said enough one day. And so I became unhappy and bitter. And so I left my employer and, I moved back to my parents' house with about as much debt as I am tall. Yeah, it was that much. But I still wasn't getting it. So, I was looking for relief, and so I started using pornography. But the thing is that, at the beginning it was alluring, but at the end it wasn't satisfying me like, with those inappropriate relationships with real women. But thankfully, by the grace of God, I had some friends. They noticed I wasn't living right, and so they started talking to me and praying for me. And slowly I started giving my life back to God. And along the way, too, there was a pastor, Brian, who's actually here. I'm thankful. He pulled me aside when I was unemployed and told me about my dad and about Dave Ramsey's class. So I did it. I was scared. I was the only single guy in a group of married folks. I was like, this is weird. Why am I doing this? But I did, did all the budgets thing. And by the grace of God, February 4, 2011, I was debt-free. And, I also now have an accountability system with my friends. I have Covenant Eyes. And so my friends can see where I'm on the computer. And so once I did that, that habit, by the grace of God, ended too. And then as for my employment, for a while, I was unemployed. I was actually employed twice in a year span. But thankfully, after contract a few times, God gave me a great job. And I do travel a lot, but now I have an accountability system, so I don't do the things I used to do. I'm not here to brag about my past life, because to be honest with you, if I could do it over again, I wouldn't do it, knowing what I know now. But I'm here to tell you that Jesus Christ can get you out of that. And, the world wants us to, think that if you do the same thing but expect something different, it's really called insanity. And Jesus is not about insanity, he's about freedom. And in fact, I'm going to close with a passage. My fraternity, my name is Ambassador Ever Powerful, and there's a verse associated with it, which is Psalm 18:2. So let me get it out. It says, "The Lord is my rock, my fortress, my deliverer, my God, my mountain where I seek refuge, my shield, and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold." So I guess the question I have for you is that who is your stronghold? If your stronghold is the world of your emotions, take it from me, it's not worth it. You're just going to have insanity. If your stronghold is God, I can promise you at least be able to sleep at night if nothing else. Thank you.
Amen.